What's good, YouTube? Let's go over a couple trade reviews that I did on US30. Okay, so I've been watching US30 for a good little while. I've been calling it in the Discord, every time we get to all-time highs and everything like that, trying to catch the drop. I want to catch the drop that just keeps on dropping, right? So, all right, right here, US30 made all-time highs right here, right? So, trying to find the right thing. All right, US30 made all-time highs right here. Okay, so I started looking for diversions immediately, and I got it. I got it right here. So when I got the divergence, I started just looking for the symbol. I mean the signal. I mean, all right. So when I got the signal right here, I took it on down for a little 2-to-1, which wasn't bad, because of the stop loss was kind of large or whatever. I actually thought that price was going to come back up here to this little gap. I thought it was going to come back to that gap and then go down, but it kept going down right here. All right, so that was one good decent trade right there. All right, so I kept watching it, Price done toppled this right here, and that started going up. So I'm looking again for the drop, right? So right here, okay, I ended up getting a trade over here. So I started looking for the same thing that I was looking for back there, as far as like the divergence or whatever. So I started seeing like, okay, over here, all of these highs, they were losing the momentum. As you can see, it was just falling, like from here, here, right up in here, and right here. So I always notice on the RSI, a lot of times these highs, they get swept. They get swept by a high, but the RSI is still lower than the previous highs. And so I said, okay, I'm waiting on the signal. Got the signal here. Got the signal, and boom, got a nice 5-to-1 right here after that. And actually, I was gonna hold it to like a 3-to-1, but it just kept dropping, and I didn't. Only place I saw a green dot was right here. I thought it was gonna turn back around on me up in here. Let me push this over because it went to here. I thought it was gonna turn back around on me right up in here, but it didn't. It kept falling. So this was like, I could have got another trade out of this right here, because it pulled back and it went on down with the trend. Okay, so on this third trade right here, I said, well, let me pull the field out. Let me pull the field out and try to catch the pullback, the big pullback, just in case this is the drop. Okay, so the fib, it went past the golden zone in the field, but I did get a signal right here. I could have closed this trade for like a 1-to-3, but I ain't gonna lie, I got a little greedy, and I held on to the trade, and I was just aiming for these lows. I wanted it to break these lows right here, but it turned back around on me and went back to entry. So I was like, well, I just charged that one to the game. I, lost that one. And it made new highs again, right? So when it made new highs again, it was Asian session, and I don't lie, I had been on the charts for a little while that day. I said I wasn't gonna bother with Asia session. So I kind of got off the charts. But then I come back to the charts, and boom, nice little drop. Nice drop here. And that could have been a nice little trade, So if we was to put the fib on that right here, we had to drop, and then we had to return to the fib zone, and then we had another drop here. So that would have been two good trades. So we would have had two good trades right there. Most of the time I'm selling, I'm not buying. So I don't really be looking for the push up on the US30 or whatever. No. So I don't really. I'm mostly trying to sell US30 overbuying it. Okay, so I just kept waiting. I kept waiting and kept waiting. US30 was on some, I don't know, steroids or something, because it started pushing and pushing, and it was gapping up and just running up. So it ran up very high. This was high as I saw it. You know, I wanted to. It was a couple of times that I thought that I would get into a trade, but I drew a level. You know, right up in here. If it got past 200, I would be looking for a trade, you know. But then, hey, it started jumping on up and started going up towards 300. So I said, okay. I started looking, and I saw up here, I saw like a distro schematic up here that it was creating. I saw that it was losing momentum right here. From here to here, that was the momentum that it was losing. So, you know, that was divergence there, right there. And I held it. I just held it for a good little while. I mean, this is, the market had ended up closing though, and it ended up closing early because of July 4th. And when it closed, it opened up and it was kind of ranging. And then I ended up drawing this out last night. This let me take this off. I ended up drawing this right here up, this arrow up, and it took off and broke the trend line and went on down and collected that. And I called this out in the Discord. When it hit the bottom, it hit the bottom here on this level. And I told the Discord, you know, you can get in a trade when US30 has pulled back. So it pulled back, and I took another trade here. Well, I took two trades up in here, and I was gonna get in one here. I took a trade right up in here. It's not marked on here, but I took a trade like right up in here, and I held it all the way down to it broke this, and I got out the trade. I got out the trade about right up in here. I'll say it was right up in here. That's where I got out the trade. Okay, so when I got out the trade, started back pushing back up. So I drew the field out again, and I was looking for another drop. Now I hadn't got into another trade, but I'm looking for US30 to pop up a little bit more maybe, and get up here in this area, and then try to come back down again. If it do, I'll be there to catch it. I'm trying to wait on the divergence and wait on the signals. This is the 45-second chart. I usually trade with the direction of the 15-minute, and I'll, you know, occasionally look at the 5-minute and see if everything aligns, so I could get in the trade. But you can see here, and I'm gonna try to bring this up if I can. You can see here in the Discord. Let's see. Here, no, well, not that. But I put here, if you missed the drop today, wait for the pullback, divergence, signal entry. That's the rules for getting into the trade. So here it was right here, because this is where it dropped. It dropped right here. It went up, and we started waiting on the divergence and the signal, and we got it up in here, and we took it down, right? So I'm working on building a small account. I'm gonna try to pull up my let me go over here. I'm gonna try to pull up this account that I was building on this one. I'm gonna flash it real quick because well, you know what, I'm not gonna put that account up on here because it got my account number on it. So yeah, that's the trade for US30. Right now we just kind of in limbo trying to see what it's gonna do. Hopefully it's more sales. So if it is, I'm gonna try to take it down to like 51 or something like that. if we can break these lows. All right, that's all I got.